Suspense is building on Capitol Hill as we watch several toss-up House races that will determine which party will be in control come January. Colorado's 8th district in the Denver area, now called the most competitive in that state. A new poll finds Democratic Congresswoman Yadira Caraveo with a just under 2-point lead over Republican Gabe Evans, but within that margin of error, so keep that in mind. Morning in America reached out to both candidates so you could hear from them directly. Congresswoman Caraveo's campaign did not accept our invite, but Republican Gabe Evans did. Gabe, thank you for answering our phone call. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me on this morning.
So the latest Emerson College poll has you slightly trailing your opponent. What's your weekend game plan to get that momentum in your corner?
Oh, we think we already have a ton of momentum. We've been playing hopscotch on both sides of the line in the polling. We've led, we've been behind a little bit. And so really, to me, it's just continuing to get the message out there. Colorado, unfortunately, is making the case for why we need change. We are third in the nation for our crime rate. We're worse than California, New York, Illinois. We're number 2 for teenagers overdosing and dying on fentanyl. We're number 2 for property crimes just in general. As a cop, as a soldier for 22 combined years, that cuts deep personally, because this isn't why I put my life on the line to protect my country, state, and community. And the voters in Colorado know that we have problems. They know that my opponent's policies are behind those problems. And so it's just carrying that message for the last 4 days.
Yeah. Well, Gabe, thank you for your service, first and foremost. The new poll also finds that nearly 7% of voters remain undecided there. That's down from the 12% that was the case at the beginning of October. Why do you think they're still on the fence? I mean, what are they waiting to hear?
Yeah, I think there's just, some political fatigue from some folks that are looking for folks that are going to be willing to work together to make life better, make us a safe, affordable place to live, work, and raise families again. And that's something that I bring to the table. And it's making sure that getting that message across in these last few days of I'm a current state representative here in Colorado. And unfortunately, I'm in a super minority. I still get 60% of my bills passed because I'm focused on working together to make life better for everyday Americans and Coloradans. And so I think that's something that's going to resonate with that remaining 7% of individuals because, again, they see the problems with their own eyes. They see the cost of living crisis. They see the crime crisis, the fentanyl crisis, the open border crisis, and they just want someone that's going to be able to fix these issues, that's going to be able to advocate for policies that keep them safe and that rewards their hard work rather than punishing it through additional taxation and overregulation, which are some of the things that my opponent has repeatedly voted for.
And let me talk about the border specifically, because I know your campaign has highlighted that you are the grandson of Mexican immigrants. Immigration is obviously a huge issue in the campaign. President Trump has highlighted migrant crimes in nearby Aurora, Colorado. I guess I'm curious if you worry that it won't end up being a top issue for most voters when they do finally end up going to the polls.
Yeah, so when I'm out knocking on doors and I ask folks, top of mind, what's the #1 issue that you're concerned about right now? I would say probably 90% of folks mention the border and the associated, when we know that not all migrants are committing crimes, but the associated crimes that come with it. You just showed some footage of Trendy Aragua, which is this violent Venezuelan gang that's been making national headlines. And earlier this week, we had news break here in Colorado that Trendy Aragua has considered the Denver metro area to be their national headquarters because of the soft on crime policies, sanctuary state policies, and defunding the police policies that my opponent has championed. That's very attractive, unfortunately, for cartels and transnational criminal organizations. And so folks see this, they know that there's a problem, and they're ready for a change. And that includes a very significant percentage of the Hispanic community, which to include my family. My family, the Chavez family, left Mexico because of political violence, and then to turn around and see that violence, see that crime in your neighborhoods and in your newly adopted communities, that's very, very concerning to a lot of the Hispanic population, and they're ready for a change.
Well, we'll be watching your race from afar, and we'll see if Miss Caraveo cares to come on to give her side of the campaign as well. Representative Gabe Evans, thank you so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Go to GabeEvans.com to learn more.
Deal. Okay, we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.